What exactly do special educators need in their IEP meeting binder? What do you need to access before, during, and after the meeting? This is a no fluff episode. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need in a bare bones IEP binder. You can always add more later. Let's go. Hey, special educators. I'm Jennifer from Positively Learning. Welcome to the Special Educators Resource Room. If you're like me, you're always looking for ways to save time and streamline your work. That's why this podcast was created, to give you the systems and solutions you need to get your time back. Tune in for tips, tricks, and tools that will help you manage your workload and make the most of your time. Whether you're brand new or experienced, all are welcome in the Special Educators Resource Room. Thanks for tuning in every week. I really appreciate it. Before we get started with this episode, I want to share I am doing a free live workshop. I'm doing this on Monday, July 22nd, and then repeating it on Thursday, July 25th. Sign up for one, sign up for both. I'd love to see you. Did I mention it was going to be live? That makes me a little nervous. I am not the tech queen, but we'll see how it goes. And having you there will make me feel so much better. The topic of this free workshop is setting up your independent work systems for student success. Now, I'm going to be talking about task boxes. However, if you already use an independent work system and you're using something different, like file folders or work binders, still come to this training. It will still apply. I'm going to be sharing 5 steps to set up, which you may already have in place or not. You'll still benefit from this training because I'm also going to be sharing 5 additional quick tips that I learned along the way when I set up systems. And these tips are all about sustainability, saving time, and staying organized. You can probably tell I'm really excited about this. If you're listening to this in real time, I will put the link to register for this free workshop in the show notes. So now let's get to the business of setting up a no-nonsense IEP binder. What exactly do you need? And here's my huge disclaimer. You should not be accepting any advice from someone on a podcast or a blog post. You definitely want to cross-reference and make sure you have what you need that is aligned with your school, your district, your state. I know that many educators aren't getting that support in those spots. So you may be learning more from a blog post or a podcast than you are from your district. And that is just reality in some places. If you are feeling very alone, there are wonderful Facebook groups out there. I have one that's almost 12,000 teachers, which shouldn't scare you off though, because they are just the kindest, most helpful group. The Facebook group is called Special Educators Resource Room. I also highly recommend Wright's Law, WRIGHT, wrightslaw.com. It's Pete and Pam Wright, and they have authored many books, which are all great. However, you can get everything you need directly on their website. When we had questions with our very large city district, we were referred to Wright's Law. But today's episode is about getting organized. Okay, so what do you need in your IEP binder? If you don't mind, I'm just going to read off a list. It's a lot, but you don't need to take notes because I've already done that for you. I put this all in one spot. I'll share the link in the show notes. I did try to put these in some type of logical order, but it is so much and you are welcome to use them in any order that supports you. All right, the first thing on the list is IEP meeting reminder notes, some type of communication tool that someone's going to notice right away. I recommend printing out a very quick note on a bright colored sticky note. The next thing is the IEP meeting checklist. This is a checklist that you could put in the front part of your binder. You know how you slip it through that cover or the back cover or the inside cover, because you want to refer to this over and over again as you are making sure you have all the necessary items prepared before the meeting. As a special educator and caseload manager, you're also going to be gathering information from general educators or anyone who's working with this child. So you need some type of system in place to prepare general educators for their role in the meeting. So this might be an email template, a meeting prep template, a one-page form that they fill out and put the necessary information in. As soon as the IEP meeting is scheduled, you want to make sure that you put on your calendar when you're going to share this information with the general education teacher. Next, we have some type of IEP goal writing process. What I ended up using was a template, but I created the template. And then I would just plagiarize myself over and over again. It almost looked like a Mad Lib where I wrote out the goal, but I took out the identifying information. You may also be able to get this from goal banks. I don't personally use goal banks, but if it's going to save you time, I say go for it. The best benefit for goal banks for me was just the wording. It just helped me get over the hump. But what I ended up doing was just creating a one-page template with that wording that I could refer to over and over again. Another tool you may have in your IEP goal planning process is a graphic organizer with the SMART acronym to make sure your goal has all of those necessary steps. Oops, this next one was supposed to be mentioned before the goals. My bad. It is the exact same type of planning process, but this time for writing present levels. Now, I love to have a very simple template that has all the wording. Take out the identifying information so you have the wording and lots of blanks, kind of like that Mad Lib style. I think templates are wonderful for saving time, but I really think they are wonderful to make sure you have everything you need. Highly recommend. The next important item in your IEP toolkit is an IEP meeting agenda. Now, I like to use it during the planning stages to make sure I have everything I need. It could substitute the checklist, whichever one you want, but you also want to have it in some type of form to be shared at the meeting, whether it's going to be displayed or passed out. All right, this is a lot. IEP meeting scripts. If you have never run a meeting, or you've run a meeting and you really did not enjoy the process, I have some scripts that I think are going to help you feel much more confident, as you should. Because if you really know your stuff, but you just have difficulty communicating it, these scripts can help. They run you through the meeting from start to finish and give you suggested talking points. You can take them or leave them, but just knowing that they're there in your toolkit can help you feel much better, hopefully. All right, IEP meeting attendance sign-in, probably given to you from your IEP system or from your district, but just in case, you definitely need those signatures. You want an IEP meeting notes page, whether you are taking minutes formally or you just want to organize your thoughts during the meeting. So now the meeting is over and you think that you're done. Just kidding, it's only beginning. There's several things that you can have organized in your toolkit to help you save some time. I'll try to speed this up. You want an accommodations matrix. It's a great way to communicate with the key stakeholders the accommodations that are on the IEP. You'll also want an IEP snapshot at a glance form. This might come with the IEP system that you use. Ours was pretty useless. It was in teeny tiny print with lots of white space, not in the right spots. So it would print out over several pages. You want to find a form that you like that makes it easy to communicate. As the caseload manager who's getting ready to share out these snapshots in the full IEP to everyone who should have access, you want to document with an IEP receipt. This probably comes with the system that you use or your district. You'll want to gather initials of everyone who has received access to that IEP. And speaking of sharing, it's really helpful to have a one-page cover sheet that speaks to confidentiality. You can put this on top of draft IEPs, IEP progress reports, anything that's being shared as a hard copy. It's little things like that that just throw me in the moment and take up so much time. I need to find paper. I need to find a printer. Oh, the printer doesn't have ink. Let me grab a piece of construction paper and just a marker and I'll write confidential on top of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That might have happened before. But having these things in place are designed to save you time and stress. Okay, let me look at my list, see what we have left. I don't think I mentioned an IEP goal data tracking form, IEP progress report statements. I have a template that's set up like a Mad Lib, and definitely a bank of IEP report card or progress report statements and comments that you can refer to when you're writing them out. And if your IEP online system prints out progress reports that just don't seem that accessible, you may want to consider having a one-page progress report summary that can serve as a cover page. All right, I know that there's more, but right now we're going to take a less is more approach to get you set up for success. So these are the things I would recommend gathering into some type of IEP toolkit. They might not fit all in one binder, but if you have access to these, whether it's organized online or it's printed out, it will definitely save you time. When you click on the link in the show notes, you're going to see a list, and I recommend using it as a checklist. What do you already have? What do you still need? Maybe you have an IEP snapshot that you absolutely love. It comes from the system and it's perfect. Great. Cross that off the list. But maybe you always feel like you're scrambling to find a Gen Ed report to share when the meeting's coming up. I don't want you to be scrambling. Let's prepare those ahead of time. Or maybe you're listening to this thinking, I don't have any of this. I just got hired. Congratulations. Or maybe you don't even know what some of this is. When you click on the link, I have gathered all of this together and put it into one bundle. And right now it's $9. So you can grab that. If you already have the really big Special Educators Resource Room bundle, you already have access to all of this. It's in the IEP category. You don't need this bundle. It's just there to save you time if you're scrambling to find all of these pieces. And sadly, this brings us to the end. This is the last episode in the series of Exactly What You Need. And I'm really going to miss this. I felt like I was kind of sassy during this series. Hopefully it didn't come across as attitude. I just wanted to be quick and give you the scoop. And if you don't mind getting information in a quick, no-nonsense way, don't forget to sign up for the free workshop all about setting up your independent work systems. I'm so excited. If you're not listening to this in real time, I will update that link so that you can still find some terrific information. Thanks so much for listening, and I will see you next week in the Special Educators Resource Room. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'm dying to ask, what'd you think? Be sure to hit the follow or subscribe buttons so that you never miss an episode. You can find the show notes and links for everything mentioned in this episode at positivelylearningblog.com. See you next week for more special education solutions.